I really am passionate about form, and I want to help you have better form in your exercise routines no matter what. So I'm going to show you a couple of exercises that I see performed poorly often when I teach around the country and even in my own studio. And I want you to apply these principles that I'm going to show you. Start to become mindful of your own form, whether it be in a lunge or in running or whatever. Just be very aware of what's going on in your body, what should be working. Start to ask those questions of yourself so that you're going to make sure that your joints get strong, the muscles around your joints, and that you stay safe through your exercise. Okay, so I'm going to start with a push-up. What I see done in a regular push-up with beginners in my studio is almost everybody crosses if you're in a short form, they cross their legs. And then they drop their back, they sag their back, and they drop their head down. And then we bend down, and we lift up, and we pop out the elbows, okay? So the first thing that I would do to correct is uncross the legs, because I believe that the legs need to be uncrossed because I don't want any misalignment in the hips. Okay, so that's the starting point. And then from there, we go into that lower abdominal wall. From the pelvic floor, we're going to zip up an elevator, and that's going to bring my hips under a little bit without tucking the hips, because I don't believe in tucking either. I don't want to be arched, and I don't want to be tucked. I just want to be neutral. So I'm going to zip up so I have that neutral spine. And that's not going to change. That's going to stay the same. The hands are under the shoulders, and I'm going to shift forward. And then the hardest thing for people to do, besides getting out of their lower back, is to lift their head up. Now, if you're bending down and dropping the head, hunching the shoulders up, you're going too far for your fitness level. You're just going too far for your own strength. And what you're doing is you're putting pressure on the cervical spine, you're dropping down on your shoulders, which could create some tension and some really tentative, tiny little bitty muscles that are, this is a critical area. It's an amazing joint, but you need to keep it safe. And so what you need to do is you need to either be very still, just let some clients come in, if they cannot perform a push-up well, we start them right here. We stay isometric, or we might micro bend the elbows and press back up without locking. We don't want to lock out in the joints. We want to keep the joints soft at the top. And then little bit by little bit, we'll go a little bit lower and see how my position is super glued and I'm not dropping my head or I'm not sagging my back. I'm not crossing my legs. And then finally, that client might be able to go all the way down and all the way up, keeping the gaze forward, but nothing drooping down. I'm not dropping my head to lower and lift. I'm not arching my back, or it's not even that you're arching your back, you're just taking, if you let that back come out, if you let the abs go, and you let the pelvic floor go, you're going to sag in the lower back. It's going to put pressure in another very tentative area. So you want to stay really committed to perfect form. Now the other exercise that I want to show you is a forearm plank. And the forearm plank is pretty tough because the body is almost parallel to the floor. So to maintain that, you got to be really strong. I like to bring my hands together, elbows under the shoulders. And then what I see a lot is this. And this knee soft. And this is really not what's supposed to be working. Because you're in your joints when you're doing it like that. So what you need to do is, the first thing that I would do is have that client drop their knees to the floor and zip up. Okay, so my back is still neutral. I'm not tucking my hips under, but I'm not arching either. I've got a zipped up from the pelvic floor, up an elevator, elbows under the shoulders, not outside, out to the side, but just here. And then from there, once the strength builds and you really press the forearms to the floor, you can lift the legs up. Make sure you're on the balls of the feet, not the tips of the toes. You want to be on the balls of the feet and really planted and firm. Not dropping the head. If the head cannot be in line with the spine, you need to bend the knees down and lift the head up. And you need to get strong in your core and in your arms. It's a full body exercise, but it's really, God, it's really relying on your core and on your upper body to maintain that strength and that perfect form. So I want you to take those tips and apply those to your lunge. Are you losing your lunge just to move, just to keep up with the class? Think about where the body should be in all of your exercises, and it will help you stay safe and get better results really quickly so that you'll build strength and be able to go even lower and more advanced in no time.